from the Jackson.
What's up, y'all? This is Relly, y'all, back with another video. Yes, and today we will be talking about what Nick Wright said about Andrew Wiggins. Now, we must start off, y'all know I do not like Andrew Wiggins, but after listening to Nick Wright's take upon how Andrew Wiggins would be on the Golden State Warriors, I very ironically had a lot of red flags with his takes. I'm going to play the clip and I'm going to let you hear it, and then I'm going to comment on what he said.
Another Andrew Wiggins in the league? There are two guys. Is it guys like with same names, or is this the guy that was the #1 pick for the Cavs, traded for Kevin Love, and has arguably the worst contract in the sport?
Same guy.
That's the guy? Man, we are light years away from the Warriors being light years ahead of the whole rest of the league. The hell you doing, Bob Myers? The next time Steph Curry takes the court, he's going to be 32 years old. You have two untradeable contracts now. Draymond's 4 for $100. Draymond has specific value for your team. I'm not saying Draymond's a bad player. I'm saying even if he's a good player, that contract is not movable because he's unique to what you do with Steph and Clay. Wiggins is horrifying. All the smart numbers show you he's never been contributing to a contributing factor to winning at any point in his career.
Now, for starters, we got to talk about his statement upon the Golden State Warriors would never be contenders again. Now, anybody with a brain knows that as long as you have Curry and Klay Thompson and you still got Draymond, you're going to be a contender. It's just, they're just that dangerous offensively. But when you put in the fact that now they just added Andrew Wiggins, who's not someone that I've portrayed as someone who should be a star, a first or second or third option, and then you put them in the mix with players that's our first, second, and third options, the responsibility, like I said in my previous video, is not going to be as much, which means since his responsibility will be low, the presence on the court for him is going to be very high. And you say, how does that add up? Very simple. When you have Curry on the perimeter, Klay Thompson on the perimeter, and Draymond wherever he is on the court, do you really think teams is going to zone or trap Wiggins in this scenario, or Klay Thompson and Curry? That's what I mean. And which is going to make Andrew Wiggins a lot more effective. So when they say not being able to contend in the near future, I don't really believe it, especially when you got to realize that the Golden State Warriors could potentially get the #1 pick this season, which means if you had Andrew Wiggins, a healthy Curry, a healthy Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and whoever they select at the #1 pick, if they decide to keep it or trade it for another star, that is a contending team to anybody who understands what basketball means. That is a realistic team. Now, when you talk about the contract burden, yeah, he's right. They're not going to be able to really financially be able to sustain anybody in the free agency because Draymond contract is boof and Andrew Wiggins contract is boof. They paid Curry a lot of money, which was well-deserved, and then they paid Klay Thompson a lot of money that was well-deserved. So their team right now is where it's going to be, so the only way they can really make improvements is by, very, very cheap signings or drafting players. Now, when he talks about Andrew Wiggins and his contributions, I can't really say anything about that because honestly, I've been saying that and preaching that for a while, saying y'all haven't seen the real Andrew Wiggins yet. And then after he went on this good streak, you realize that the Timberwolves and Andrew Wiggins went back to normal. Yes, Andrew Wiggins was having some great point per game numbers, but when you really translate to what that did for the team, it really got them nowhere. And his consistency was still a red flag to everybody amongst the league, which then led to people questioning, was Andrew Wiggins really that guy? Now, like I said before, his 20 points would be so much different on the Warriors than what it would be on the Minnesota Timberwolves. You say, why? Because the way he's going to be able to get those 20 points is going to be different. You can say, look at Minnesota. Why would they trap anybody else on Minnesota besides Cat? You know why they wouldn't do that? Is because there's nobody on Minnesota for them to trap. besides Wiggins, who they know is probably going to be the one scoring a lot of their points, right? Now, on the Golden State Warriors, like I said, like I keep preaching this, when you have that many juggernauts on the offensive end, they're going to have to legitimately gamble. Now, for them, this works again because in a sort of kind of way, he can kind of take that Kevin Durant ISO type of role. Yeah, I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant. Please do not reward that. I'm not saying he's KD, but in the sense of ISO, that is going to be his role on the team, to be an ISO player. He's going to have some catch and shoot situations, but let's be real. Andrew Wiggins on the Timberwolves was an ISO scorer. He's going to be an ISO scorer in Golden State. And that's really what they want. They just want a different dynamic to an already pass-first system, which, really freaks out teams, because when you have somebody who can score a bucket on wheel while having Curry and Klay Thompson on the perimeter where he can kick it out to, it's crazy. And then on top of that, he's not going to have the expectation to be a facilitator. You have Draymond Green. And then on top of that, your expectation might be even more or less, because if they draft a very high or highly prospected draftee, hey, the culture for the Golden State Warriors completely changes just like that. So, I don't know. Y'all know me. I would be the first one to bash Andrew Wiggins, but this time, this is not the time where I should bash him, because this is a time where I have to see. I have to wait till next season to truthfully see what he got. I'm going to be completely unbiased in this situation. I'm going to be completely open to see the possibilities of what Andrew Wiggins can do, because this is a different team, this is a different culture, and I realize how great Golden State is, which means I have to put respect on his name, more so because the team has showed us for this many years this is what they can do, this is what they can achieve, and this is how they can translate players. Like, if you really think about it, players that go to Golden State, play style wise, has turned out to be different. Even with Kevin Durant offensively has played some of the best offensive numbers when he was on Golden State. Not because he was just some trash player, but because the offensive schemes was so much different. Because if they paid a whole bunch of defensive attention to Curry, they forget about KD. If they do it for KD, they have to give up Curry. And if they do it for both of them, they give up Klay Thompson. You get what I'm saying? And it's just so lethal of an offense for Golden State, which in translation creates their own defense. Now, on top of that, I cannot conclude the video without saying this. I've also been preaching I did not want D'Angelo Russell on the Golden State Warriors, because I did not want Klay Thompson playing the 3. And a lot of people said, oh, you can play Klay Thompson at the 3. You can't, and this is why. When you have a player that we all identified as the best defender, or one of the best defenders on Golden State, right? And you put him at the 3. Someone that is known to be switching on Curry's man automatically, right? But then you lose Iguodala, you lose Sean Livingston, and you lose Kevin Durant, right? You lost 3 potential bodies on the defensive end. Now, like I said, you slot Klay Thompson at the 3. Now he has to switch on 1s, and he has to switch on 2s. And you say, why does he got to switch on the other guard position? Because D'Angelo Russell was not considered a defender. He is not considered somebody who plays man-to-man defense. He's not a liable defender, which means he has to guard 1s, he has to guard 2s, and he has to guard 3s. And then you say, what about Draymond? Draymond would try to, but the thing is, Draymond has to switch on 4s and 5s, which then limits his ability as well on the defensive end, because you put so much more pressure on them defensively, which kind of kills their offense. Yes, I know Klay Thompson is a one-of-a-kind offensive player, but it's just so much you can do on one end before you get tired. And I think that was just that was literally a bomb waiting to happen. You get what I'm saying? But now that they made that switch, Andrew Wiggins can play his rightful position. Klay Thompson can play his rightful position. Curry can play his rightful position. And Draymond can play his rightful position. And then they got that draft pick waiting to happen. So this is what I say. This is a perfect match to happen. So now we just got to wait till next season to really see what this is about before I can make a judgment. So, with that being said, if you like today's video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and do not forget to hit that notification bell for more amazing content, because we are on the grind. The official grind to 150 subscribers, and we are so close, and I know with y'all, I can get there. So, with that being said, ghosts.